Have you ever had a limiting belief that where you're saying, oh no, that will never work out for me. I can never change that. That person will never recognize what's going on. And it's blocking you. Well, I had this in 1999. I had had a miscarriage. I went to the doctor and everything was clear, she said, but she insisted on, and without my permission, she went up inside of me and like did a DNC, but with nothing that would help me, like with the pain or anything. She just did this. I passed out on the table and I woke up to no one being in the room with me. They had not put a blanket on me or anything. I got up from the table. I went into the reception hall and I was totally out. They charged me for this. I had no health insurance at the time. They charged me for this and I paid it because I was in shock. Well, this really set me back. I was good right after I'd had the miscarriage, but this really traumatized me and they didn't care. They didn't care one single bit of what they had done. I got in the car and I drove myself home. I went straight to bed because I had no energy. It just knocked me completely out. I started taking a rescue remedy. And that evening, this doctor called me on the phone. And she says, well, how are you? You passed out. And I said, it's because what you did. And she says, no. You told me you'd only had soup and some juice and some tea, and it was your blood sugar. I had never seen this doctor before. She had never took a blood test on me. She knew nothing about this, about my blood sugar, I should say. And I was like really upset with her. I just said, well, you shouldn't have done that. And she just said, well, it was your blood sugar and that's why you passed out. So that was the end of the conversation. So I fly back to France and I am very weak. I'm having a hard time walking in the airport. I am just totally out. I get to France that evening. I take a bath. And I have to ask my husband to come in and help me out of the bathtub because I'm just really weak. This has really set me back, what this doctor did. So at this time is when tapping came into being. And I had all my natural health friends, my students, who I had told one of the students, she says, oh, well, I just learned this new thing called tapping. And she said, I really think it could help you. And she said, your other student is the one who taught me. And she says, I'll have her call you. So the other student calls me on the phone and we have a tapping session about this. Because I thought that, this doctor would never say that she was sorry but I was very still angry and it was difficult for me to forgive this person, really difficult. She didn't ask my permission. She blamed it on me. They didn't cover me up. There wasn't someone in the room when I woke up. They left me there. And this was, when you pass out and go out like that, it's difficult to get back in your body. And that's where I was having a difficult time. I wasn't having bleeding, nothing like that. So it was the trauma from what she did. So I was having a hard time forgiving her for this doctor. And I felt she was very brutal and not compassionate at all. So I did the tapping. And in my mind, I asked her to, I forgave her, and I asked her to send me my money back. I called my secretary. I told her what had happened when I got back to France, and I explained to her what I had done with this tapping. And she says to me, Lori, this is okay. So 3 days later, she sends me an email and she says, Lori, you won't believe it, but this doctor has sent you a check for the full amount back. And it was close to $300. And at that time, the late 90s, that was a lot of money for me. I was a single mother, and I had teenagers still. And so this was, had my own company, and I was working hard, coming back and forth to France too. So it was a lot. I had a lot of different stressors, and I got the money back, and I realized how valuable tapping was. And to this day, my oldest son, Bert, he uses tapping anytime when he feels emotional distress. And this is the reason why I feel it's so important that we share AromaTapping with you. And this is going to be done with another aromatherapist, Renee Hughes, and she's going to be giving a presentation on AromaTapping during our aromatherapy certification program group coaching call. Now, usually these calls are just for our students in our aromatherapy certification program, but we're going to offer this to you. And because I feel it's so important, and we're going to offer it to you so that way you guys can come into our group coaching call. You guys can see what we do in our coaching calls. Also, you will have a presentation on AromaTapping by Renee Hughes, who's an aromatherapist. And we also will have a presentation by Andrea, who's one of our students and also is a certified aromatherapist. And she's going to be doing it on Litsea Essential Oil. So we can't wait for you guys to be with us. It's going to be on October 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you can't make it, we will have a recording for you to, and there is a cost for it. So we want to let you guys know that, because this is very valuable information. And we feel it's important that we share this information with you, because what it's done for my family and for myself and for many others. So we can't wait to see you there on October 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget your essentials. Use your common sense. Au revoir.